For decades, one tiny hole sat on the edge of nearly every device we owned. Phones, laptops, game consoles, cameras. It was simple, universal, and so reliable most people barely noticed it. Then it disappeared. The headphone jack, one of the most useful and widely used features in modern technology, was suddenly removed from the device people used most. Not because people stopped using it, not because it stopped working, and not because a better replacement had fully arrived. So why did tech companies remove the headphone jack? The official answer was simple: progress. Phones were getting thinner. Batteries needed more room. Cameras were getting bigger. Water resistance mattered more. And inside modern smartphones, every millimeter counts. From an engineering perspective, those reasons were real. A headphone jack takes up physical space. Removing it does make internal design easier. It can free room for larger batteries, bigger components, and simpler waterproofing. That part was true, but it was only part of the story. Because the real reason was not just engineering, it was business. The headphone jack was one of the rarest things in technology. A truly universal standard. It worked across brands, across generations, and across price ranges. A cheap wired headset could work on almost anything. No charging, no pairing, no software, no ecosystem. You plugged it in, and it worked. That was great for consumers, but not ideal for tech companies. A wired headset could be cheap, universal, and last for years. That meant limited profit, limited control, and almost no ecosystem lock-in. Wireless changed that. Removing the headphone jack did not just remove a port. It created a new market. Wireless earbuds became one of the most profitable accessory categories in modern tech. They were more expensive, carried higher margins, and worked best inside the same ecosystem as the phone that made them. That changed everything. A wired headset was universal. A wireless one could be branded, premium, rechargeable, and replaceable. That is not a conspiracy. That is business. Wireless audio gave companies more control, more accessory revenue, and stronger customer lock-in. And then Apple accelerated everything. In 2016, Apple removed the headphone jack from the iPhone 7. At the same event, it introduced AirPods. That timing mattered, because removing the headphone jack was not just a design decision. It was the perfect setup for a new product category. AirPods became one of the most successful consumer electronics products ever made. Competitors mocked Apple. Then they copied Apple. Google did it. Samsung did it. Then almost everyone else followed. That revealed the real lesson. If removing the headphone jack was truly a bad idea, competitors would have kept it. Instead, they copied it. Because Apple proved something important. Consumers would complain, adapt, and keep buying. And companies would make more money without it. Consumers did gain something. Wireless audio became more convenient. Bluetooth improved. Cable-free listening became normal. But consumers also lost a lot. They lost simplicity. Wired audio needed no battery, no charging, no pairing, and no adapters. They lost universal compatibility. They lost low-cost audio. And they gained the dongle, the awkward little symbol of the entire shift. A universal standard was removed, then partially sold back through an adapter. And that is the bigger story. The headphone jack was not removed because it stopped being useful. It was removed because it was too useful in a way companies could not fully control.